BIS155 is a lot like Comp 100. So if you didn't have Comp 100, I want to make sure you know how easy it is to do the work for the week. I was going to make a video on how to do the Let Me Tries, but the Let Me Tries are videos of how to do their own thing anyway. So I'll just make sure here you know how to do the exercise. And yours should come up similar to this. I think I will do a reset there because I want to start at the beginning with you. And usually it goes right to the assignment. I'm not sure. There we go. Okay. All right. So we're in chapter 1, creating and editing workbooks. And I'm not going to go through all the Let Me Tries, but pretty much what they have you do is reading through the chapter. And once you find Let Me Try, there we go. Go give it a try. Now, the thing I love most about the Let Me Tries is if you don't know how to do it, you hit Show Me, and it comes up and gives you a video. So it shows you how to do each one of these Let Me Tries. Once you complete a Let Me Try, let me start with this one. Open the Save As dialog box. And save the file in the Documents folder with the file name BIS1-1. Okay. So now that I've completed that one, it'll have a check mark. And that's how I know when I'm done with that assignment. I've got a check mark by it. As I go find the next one. And again, some of this beginning stuff you may not have to read through. You just need to come through and find the Let Me Tries. Now, as you're doing these, it will grade them. So say you do 1 or 2 out of the chapter, it's going to grade that and post it to the grade book. And as you come back and complete those assignments, it will continue to update those grades. And once you get them all done, then you have 100. Any questions about the Let Me Tries? Because there's 2 of those for this week. Yes, we have 2 of the chapters to walk through like that, doing all of the Let Me Tries. And then we have our independent project. Now, the reason for walking through the Let Me Tries is so you know how to do what's in the project when you get to the project. For this week, I had planned on, I'm going to tell you here with SimNet, don't worry about what's in SimNet other than what you're looking at the moment. If you start clicking around, there's a billion assignments in there. So make sure you come back here. These are the only assignments we have to do. Because you can get lost in how much is available in SimNet. All right, so I'm going to launch the project, and feel free to do this along with me. And if you have questions at any time or can't find something that we're working on, feel free to chime in and ask questions. So I'll click on this blue box. And with the projects, what we'll come do is it's a 1, 2, 3 process. So I'm going to download the start file. And it usually puts it in my download folders. And I don't like that, so I'll turn around and save it. And I thought I had my folder. This class, yep, there we go. And I'm going to put it right in here. That way I know where it's at. It doesn't get lost in downloads. And I have a copy if something happens. When I'm submitting it, I know exactly where it is. All right, so that's the beginning, is getting the start file. The instructions are right down here below. In this project, we'll create, copy and edit formulas, name cell ranges, mathematical order of operations, set cell reference to be absolute, use the now function, HLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, SUMIF, and IF. And with that, we'll go get started. And I just did this part, opening the file and clicking enable editing. And I'll kind of slow down there for a second and give everybody a chance to get to the same spot. Okay, if you're ready, I'll continue. If you're not, give me a holler. Next, I'm going to select the table sheet, and the different sheet tabs are down here at the bottom. Tables looks like this. We're going to select A6 through B10. And it's a click and drag to select the entire area. And create range names using the Create from Selection button, which is on the Formulas tab under Define Names. So I'm on Formulas, Define Names, Create from Selection. I do want it from the left column and hit OK. Select cells B1 through F2. And click the name box. This took me a good hour to find. It's up here in the corner. And we're going to name this range H underscore rates. I actually had to go watch the show me video in the let me try so I could figure out where the name box was. Actually, I think it was in the chapter and then I did it in the let me try. The first row is in ascending order. I don't know what that's for. So now when I click in that range, why didn't it give me my name? Okay, there we go. So when I select it again, it should automatically give me my name back. As I check the check boxes, it moves me through the assignment. This really helps me focus my attention on where I'm at. And if I have to take a break, I come back here and I know exactly where I left off. It's a little tedious and it's hard to get used to checking the box each time. And sometimes I'll do a few steps at once, but it really does come in. Okay, create an HLOOKUP function to display the bonus rate. Okay, so we're gonna first, click the commissions sheet tab. So the commissions tab was the first tab. And I'll select cell F5. Start the HLOOKUP function. If it's not in your list, then the best thing to do is hit insert function. And I can type it in, HLOOKUP, and it brings it up for me. Use cell E5 as the lookup value. So I'll click in lookup value and then click cell E5. For the table array argument, use the H_rates. Notice how it brings up the numbers automatically. Use the second row for the row index number argument. I'll put a number 2 there. Format the results as the percent style with 2 decimal places. So I'll come to home. And I'm right here where it usually says it comes up as general by default. And I'm going down to percent. It comes up with 2 decimal places. And I'm done with that. Copy the formula from F5 to 6 through 14. The only thing better than copy and paste is click and drag. And I'm going to stop here for a second, see if anybody has any questions, if I'm going too fast or too slow. Okay, no questions. I'll keep going. Select cell G5, which is here, G5. Build a formula to add the commission amount to the commission amount times the rate. Okay, so in G5, I'll do equals E5, right? Yep, plus F5 times E5. So the commission is added to the commission times the rate. F5 is the rate. Copy the formula to the next cells. Click, drag, boom. Create and copy a SUMIF function to calculate total earnings by the branch office. Right, so we select cell E18, which is down here. I love my functions. They're just incredible. Again, if they're not in the list, you insert function, type it in, and it'll pull it up for you. If you have questions at any time, please feel free to let me know. Okay, so for the range argument, we want D5 to D14. I prefer to select them instead of type them, and then we hit the F4 key to get the absolute cell reference that they're showing here. All right, next, set the criteria argument as a relative reference to cell C18.
Bobbin. Oh, Lord.
Did you have a question? Select cells G5 to G14 for the sum range argument and make the references absolute. Okay, sorry, Hannah. So G5 to G14 for the sum range argument. G5. Notice how it disappears, comes back, and then go. And make the references absolute. Copy the formula to E19 and E20 without formatting to preserve the borders. That's on the little drop down after you do the fill. You can hit the drop down and you get fill without formatting. Format cells E18 to E21 as currency. Back on the home page. Hit general, come down to currency. And then total the earnings in E21. So I go to total. I love my auto sum and hit enter. And I'll stop for a second. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or type in the chat. You able to see it now, Yesenia? Usually it dings at me when I get a chat. I didn't hear it. Okay, good. Thank you. I'm going too fast. Are you able to follow along? Okay. Try to stop every once in a while just in case I was going too fast. If I'm in class, I prefer you stick up a hand or yell at me or something. Just slow me down so you can catch up. We're on to number 10, select cell G23 and insert the now function. G23. Now's under date and time. Now we're going to select that date and time. And on the home page, it's at custom now instead of general. We're going to hit that. And this is, we're going to, oh, I forgot. Luckily, this assignment works in 2016. I'm not using 2019. Should be date. And nope, still not it. How did I do this today? Because it came up perfect on the number tab. And there's a way to specify. There we go. So I hit the drop down for the number tab. And I guess that's what it told me to do. It said hit the group launcher, which is, that's the launcher, the little arrow in the corner. And then I'm on the date tab and I want to come down and find March 14th, 2012. That's the format that we wanted in. Notice it gave us that for the current date. Okay, and then it says go control home. which takes you up to the beginning of the document. Now we're on to number 11. Click the Family Day Sheet tab. It's the one in the middle. And select cell F6, which is under Goal. Start the VLOOKUP function. And if it's not here, come down to Insert Function. You can type in VLOOKUP and it'll pull it up for you. Use cell E6 as the lookup value. And for table array, I'm going to click there on table array. I'm going to come to the Tables Sheet tab and select A6 through B10. So we're taking this value, what's in E6, and looking it up in this table. I'm going to hit F4 to convert that to an absolute cell reference. And use the second column as the column index number. The lookup range argument is empty. So I told you sometimes I'll skip a few steps. Okay. And then we're going to copy that to F7 through F20. Without formatting to preserve the color formatting. It's that little pop-up window that comes up after you do the fill. Format cells F6 through F20 as currency with no decimal place. So back on the Home tab, currency, no decimal places. This is the decreased decimal places, and this is increased decimal places. Wow, and we're close to being done. Select cell H6 under Goal Reached and start an if. Ifs are under Logical and type a logical argument to determine if cell G6 is greater than or equal to cell F6. Type yes for value is true. and type no as the value if false. Okay on that. And then we're going to copy that. Without formatting to keep our color code consistent. Center align. So I'll select all the cells, go to home and center. And press Control Home, which takes me to the top of that sheet. So now we're actually on the last part, and they want me to insert a new sheet at the end of the tabs and paste the range names starting at cell A1. So I'm going to go to A1, and then on the formulas tab, click define names. This is another one of those I had to go look up. Of course, if you walk through the let me tries, if I had walked through the let me tries, I wouldn't have had to look it up because I would have done it in the let me try. New plan for next week. All right, we want to use in formula and then paste names. Then paste list. And I'm going to double click in between A and B and in between B and C. And those are my names, range names. Now I have to come down here and double click where it says sheet 1 and rename this range names. Save and close my workbook. Now before I do, I'm going to check my formula that I got wrong earlier. Yes, because last time I had forgotten to do absolute cell reference on these. So I lost points, then I resubmitted it, and then I said, oh, you forgot to copy it down here. So then I had to submit it again because I don't like not getting it all right. I'm going to hit save and then come back up to the top of this page and do number 2. I'm going to upload my file. 3 opportunities to upload your file to get a 100. If you've done it twice and you don't know what you're doing wrong, then please contact me so I can help you before you submit it that 3rd time. Boy, I did a lot wrong. What did I submit the wrong file? I must have. See, I told you, you got to be really careful about making sure you submit the correct file. I think what I did was it went to downloads. Yes, okay, so I have to go to my documents. There's my 155 folder. So in week 1, here's my independent project. Okay. Let's try that one more time. There we go. And here it'll tell you if you have a number in partial or incorrect, that means you did not get everything right. Otherwise, it'll tell you you got everything correct. If you have anything incorrect, it will show you over here when you click this, you open it up and it shows you what was wrong. You can go and correct it and then resubmit. You can see over here how it shows you an example. These letters and numbers line up with the questions. So 3A is selecting cells B1 through F2 and select the name box and enter H rates. So see how neat that is? It actually highlights and tells you what it is over here, but you have to point to it. It's only letting me do that on this page for some reason. So as I go to 7B, it comes over here and highlights it, and I can open that up and it tells me exactly what to do. I want to stress again, when you're done with that assignment and you've got it submitted and you've got your grade, I want to tell you not to play around in SimNet. Feel free to, but at this point, you really just want to close your window. Come back to your modules. And this shows you what you should be doing for the week. Okay. Don't look for what's due for the week in SimNet. You'll get completely confused. Come here to look to see what's due for the week. Does anybody have any questions for me? And let the train go by there for a second. It gets louder than I do. Don't feel like you have to stay the entire time. I'm just here to answer your questions. Each week I will come in and the very first thing I'm going to do is walk through the project for the week. That's about the biggest help that I can provide everybody. But if you're doing the let me tries throughout the week, then you probably won't need my help with the project at all, because the let me tries build up your knowledge where you have the skills to do the project. So if you do the let me tries, then what I'm talking about for the let me tries is when we go into the chapter, these chapters as you go through have the individual let me tries. You don't have to do the other two, the show me or the guide me, but the let me tries are required and are part of this grade. Once you complete all of the let me tries in a chapter, then you will have all the points for that assignment.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
This is Steve Countryman. I was a little behind you going through this. I'm at the point with the putting the now function in there, and it says select from the drop down list, and I'm a little lost there.
Okay. Come back where, give me a second. Get back to that part, just a second. It's a whole lot easier to do from here. Come on. Don't be shy. All right, so you click in the box. And you probably found the now function, right? You're just looking for the list.
Yes.
Okay, so once I do that, then I'm gonna come to the home page. No. Yeah, that's the one I want. And they're asking me to hit this group launcher, which is the little arrow in the corner. Then you can click on date and scroll down and find the one that's marked
Are you in
spelled
the?
out.
I'm sorry, you're in the format cells or whatever.
Right, so I get there from hitting this launcher.
Okay. I don't even have that launcher on mine like you do. I'm on 19, I think. Well, I'm also working on a Mac, so that may be an issue. But the launcher's not on there. But I mean, can I just right click in the thing in the cell and go to format cells?
So if you don't mind hanging on a second, I can get to 19 and tell you what I can see from there. I usually forget until there's a function that comes up that's in the new version that's not in the old version, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not using 20.
I think that's the version I have. Sorry if it's loud. I'm in a car, not driving.
That's okay. So I can get to 2019. I just have to go through Citrix, which is also an option for everyone in the class to run the exercise. In fact, I may want to edit and put this in the very beginning because I should have done this in the beginning. All right. Okay, I hate to tell you, it might be the Mac because even in 20, I'm seeing the little line.
Yeah.
It's in the lower right corner. Now let me see if there's another way to get to it. Okay, so when I do, yeah, under that in that window where you hit general or
Mhm.
number or currency, if you go all the way to the bottom where it says more number formats,
Hold on a sec. Is that from, that's from format cells, right?
right.
So I go to,
That's what
right,
gets
so,
me there anyway.
so number, and then,
Well, where you would mark it as a general number, currency, accounting, at the
right,
very bottom down there, it says more number format.
see, mine doesn't even say that, it's just custom, but I'm assuming that's
How about Control M?
from the cell?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a sec.
Tell me that's another option.
See, that doesn't even for me.
Let me see
I've
if
had a couple. I've had a couple of these issues working through on the Mac. If I do Control M, nothing happens. But I think I'm supposed to do something else on the Mac other than Control, like function or command or something.
maybe Alt. But I'm still not getting to where.
No, that didn't do it.
Now, another thing I can tell you that may help, just because it's group. 1 second, I'm trying to find where I saw it. I think it's up over here. Group tutoring for this course. Through there, you probably got a good chance of finding somebody who's done this with a Mac and could tell you a couple of things that will save you a lot of time.
Okay.
You also might be able to Google it and see like Excel for Mac Group Launcher is what that's called.
All right. I may have to. I may have to do that. Go that route. I had that issue with the back view as well.
So I don't want it to be an issue anymore. Let's see if we can't get you working. If you don't get it working, let me know and we'll try help desk and see if they can't help us.
Okay.
I think the first bet would be looking to the group because there's a group of people doing something. Odds are they've usually seen the problem.
Okay.
But if that doesn't help and you don't get any answers that way, let me know. And in fact, here in the course shell, if you go to help and then come down to technical support, it takes a minute, but it reroutes, and then you're here. So there's a lot of articles. You can submit a ticket, you can do a chat, or you can call this 1-800 number for 24/7 support.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I'm not an Apple person.
I hear you. I've just started working on one myself, so this was kind of new to me, seeing some of the different, ways to get to places. So.
I probably do have a couple of students, worst case, that I can reach out to because I know they had an Apple and had to figure out how to do all this stuff.
Oh wait, I found it. Oh, hold on. Or did I? So I went to more number formats, but it says it just takes me to the custom thing. So at that point, I think I'm where I'm supposed to be actually, to be honest with you. So at that point, let's see here. Trying to get back to my instructions. Where Foremost number tab, select the date category. Okay.
Yeah, so if you're seeing date and not short date and long date, then you're in the right place.
I do see date, and then, okay, so let's spell it out, the date, a comma, and a 4-digit year. Okay, there we go.
March 14th, 2012. Perfect. How'd you do that?
Actually, I it's right there from the format cells thing, and I go to date, and then March 14, 2012.
You said
And-
format cells.
Yeah, so I just did, which basically, if you go up to where the window is, where it says, where yours says
Oh.
date up there, mine said custom.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, let's bring you to the same place. Cool.
yeah, it brings you right there to that same place, which is basically in format cells anyway. So, so yeah, choose that and say okay, and I'm good to go.
Yay!
Hey, all right. Thank you. I'm still behind, but I'll go through the rest on my own. If I have any questions, I'll contact you.
I'm here for another hour. Holler if you need any help.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll be listening out.
Alrighty. Thanks.